Picture a morning that does more for you than any treatment menu ever could. It is barely light. You walk down to the water before anyone else is awake, and you swim slowly in no particular direction for as long as you feel like it. There is no instructor counting your strokes, no app measuring your heart rate, nothing to complete. The sea is the temperature of nothing at all, which is to say it feels like an extension of your own skin. When you come out, you stand dripping on the steps and watch the light arrive, and you have the distinct sensation of a clenched fist somewhere inside your chest beginning very gently to open. We open with that because it is the opposite of what we have all been sold as wellness travel. You know the version we mean. The beige spa with the panpipe soundtrack. The green juice you did not order and did not want, handed to you with a knowing smile. The schedule so dense with intentions and infusions and sunrise commitments that it becomes, in the end, just another inbox, another set of obligations you are failing to keep up with. Somewhere along the way, we took the one kind of trip that was supposed to be about rest and turned it into a performance review for the body. We want to make the case this afternoon for something quieter. The idea we keep coming back to is this: real wellness travel is not about fixing yourself. It is about resting properly. It is about restoring two things we have let ourselves run almost completely dry: your sleep and your attention. Everything else, the movement and the food and the green hills, only matters insofar as it serves those two. Get them back, and you come home a different person. Chase everything else, and you come home tired in a new and more expensive way. So let us start with what wellness travel has actually become for the people who do it well. The first thing to understand is that it has moved well beyond the spa. The spa was always a small part of it, a pleasant hour, and somehow it became the whole brand. What replaces it is not grander. It is simpler. It is movement you genuinely enjoy, which for one person is a long walk, and for another is swimming, and for another is an hour of slow yoga on a wooden deck, and for almost nobody is a punishing class designed to make you feel you have earned your dinner. The body does not need to be earned. It needs to be used kindly, and then allowed to recover. Then there is the food. And here we want to be careful, because the language around this has gone strange. We talk about clean eating as though everything else were dirty. But the food that actually makes you feel well on a trip is rarely good, because it is clean. It is good because it is fresh. It was pulled out of the ground or the sea that morning. It was cooked simply by someone who has cooked it 10,000 times. You eat it slowly, at a table, in daylight, and you stop when you are full because nothing about the meal is hurrying you. That is not a diet. That is just how people eat in places that have not yet been taught to be anxious about it. And then there is time in nature, which sounds like a soft thing to recommend, and turns out to be one of the most reliable. Not nature as a backdrop for photographs. Nature as something you are actually inside of, long enough for your nervous system to notice. The particular green of a valley after rain. The sound of water moving through a channel it has moved through for centuries. Birds you cannot name. Your attention, which has spent months being chopped into ever smaller pieces by screens, slowly remembering how to rest on one thing for more than a few seconds. And this is the recovery almost nobody books a trip for, even though it may be the one they need most. We have grown so used to a fragmented mind that we mistake it for our personality. A few days inside, something larger and slower than us, and you begin to notice the difference. Thoughts arrive whole again. You finish them. You look up from a meal and realize you have not reached for your phone in an hour and did not miss it. But underneath all of it, the foundation everything else is built on is sleep. This is the part the industry is least comfortable saying out loud because it cannot be packaged or upsold. Most of us arrive on holiday in a state of low, chronic exhaustion that we have stopped even noticing. The way you stop hearing a fridge that hums all day. The single most restorative thing a trip can do is let you sleep deeply for as many nights as it takes for the debt to clear. Usually, that takes longer than a weekend. Often, it is the third or fourth night before the real sleep arrives, the kind you surface from slowly, unsure of the time, genuinely rested. Everything we are going to say about how to design these trips comes back to protecting that. You are not building a schedule. You are building the conditions for a person to finally sleep. Now, where does one go for this? There are many right answers, but let us use Bali as a case study, because Bali is interesting precisely because its reputation is at war with itself. Say the name, and half the people you know will picture a serene rice terrace, and the other half will picture a crowded beach club with a queue for the pool. Both exist. They are just not in the same place, and the whole art of Bali is knowing which part you are going to. The south of the island, the strip near the airport, is the part that gives Bali its noisy reputation. Traffic, party bars, the kind of crowd that travels to be seen. If that is what someone thinks Bali is, we understand why they are skeptical. But drive inland, up toward the hill town in the cultural interior, the one called Ubud, and the island changes character entirely. The air cools, the roads narrow, the noise falls away and is replaced by water and gamelan and the particular quiet of a place that has been working the same land for 1,000 years. Here is what those mornings actually look like. You wake early because you went to bed early, because there was nothing pulling you into the night. You walk out among the rice terraces while the mist is still sitting in the valleys, and you watch farmers already at work, ankle deep, unhurried, part of a system of shared water that the whole community manages together. You can visit the water temples, where people come to be cleansed under cold spring water, and whether or not you believe a word of the theology, there is something undeniably restorative about cold water and old stone, and the seriousness with which other people are taking the morning. There are ridge walks where the land falls away on both sides into green. And there is yoga, real yoga, the unperformative kind, taught by people who have done it their whole lives, in open rooms with the jungle pressing in at the edges. Nobody is filming. Nobody is competing. There is no mirror at the front of the room measuring you against anyone else. You are simply moving and breathing in a beautiful place at the start of the day, and then the rest of the day is yours to do nothing with. And the food, again, is good not because it is virtuous, but because it is alive. Vegetables an hour out of the ground. Fruit you have never tasted at full ripeness before, because it does not survive the journey to where you live. This is why Bali earns its reputation. when you go to the right part of it and skip the party strip. The wellness is not bolted on. It is just what the place is like when you slow down enough to receive it. Which brings us to the hardest part, and the reason we wanted to make this episode at all. How do you design a restorative trip without it quietly turning into a boot camp? Because this is the great trap. You decide to finally take care of yourself, and you bring the same achievement-hungry mind to your rest that you bring to everything else, and you build a schedule so full of wellness that there is no room left in it to actually feel well. Sunrise yoga, then the sound bath, then the breath work, then the consultation, then the hike, then the second yoga. By day 3, you are managing your relaxation like a project, and you are more tired than when you arrived. So here are the principles we keep coming back to. The first is to build in the empty afternoon, deliberately, on purpose. A block of time with absolutely nothing in it, no activity booked, no place to be, the kind of unstructured hours that, as adults, we have almost entirely engineered out of our lives. This is not wasted time. This is the whole point. The empty afternoon is where the trip actually does its work, where the mind finally stops bracing for the next thing and lets go. The second principle. 1 anchoring practice, not 10. Choose a single thing. The morning swim, the yoga, the walk, and let it be the gentle spine of your days. 1 practice you can actually look forward to and sink into beats 10 you are merely enduring. Depth, not breadth. You are not collecting wellness experiences. You are building 1 small habit of attention and letting it carry you. The third. Pair a few genuinely active mornings with genuinely free days and respect the difference. A morning of movement followed by an afternoon and evening of nothing is a rhythm a body can recover inside. 6 packed days in a row is just work with a nicer view. The free days are not the gaps between the real itinerary. They are the real itinerary. The fourth. Choose somewhere quiet to begin with. So much of what we pay specialists and therapists to give us is simply the absence of noise and demand, and you can choose that at the level of the destination itself. A quiet place does half the work before you have done anything at all. And the last one, the question everybody asks, and nobody quite wants the honest answer to. How much should you unplug? We are not going to tell you to throw your phone in the sea, because you will not, and you should not have to feel guilty about being reachable. But we will say this. The restoration of your attention is the entire point of the exercise, and attention is exactly the thing your phone is engineered to fragment. So you do not need a digital detox with a capital D. You need digital quiet. A few protected hours each day, the empty afternoon among them, where the thing simply is not in your hand, and your mind is allowed to settle on 1 valley, 1 conversation, 1 slow meal, for as long as it likes. That is the muscle you came to rebuild. This is the way we like to think about it when we design these journeys at JMJ Experiences. We build wellness travel around rest, not regimen. Fewer things, chosen with more care, a quiet place, an anchoring practice, and the empty afternoons protected as fiercely as anything else on the trip, because they are where the real recovery happens. The goal is not that you come home having achieved your wellness. It is that you come home rested and sleeping and able to hold your own attention again. We have written a companion piece on visiting Bali well on the journal, if you would like somewhere to begin. Next time, we are leaving the green hills and heading north to Vietnam, a country that runs from cool mountain valleys down through old imperial cities to the warm, slow water of the south, and one of the most quietly rewarding places we know to travel slowly. We hope you will join us for it. For now, we hope you find an afternoon this week with nothing in it, and we hope you let it stay that way.